And yes, I've seen my 600-pound life. And even those 600-pound bodies aren't an indication of poor health, but rather poor daily habits, and other mental issues going on internally. Wrong. The people on my 600-pound life are the perfect example of poor health. Yes, many of the people on the show do have mental issues, and of course they have poor daily habits since they typically continue to gain weight, even at that size. However, many of those episodes show the difficulty and danger of traveling at that size. Once an individual becomes bedridden for months and years, it creates an enormous strain on their bodies to travel. Many of the people on the show comment on the amount of pain they are constantly in. There are infections that are often present in the deep folds of their bodies, which is difficult to keep clean at that size. Some have sleep problems and some can't lie down properly because it's too difficult to get back up. Regardless of any mental issues they may or may not have, the people on that show are absolutely perfect examples of poor health. If you don't like spreads on sandwiches, that's probably not you. That's your eating disorder. What? Not liking spreads or certain condiments have more to do with your taste buds and each person's personal preference. Just because someone doesn't want to drown a sandwich in spreads, does not mean they have an eating disorder. Watching Kamala take her oath as the first female vice president, and I kept thinking, this is why we have to continue to fight against diet culture. I have no idea what one has to do with the other. Seriously, what does one person's achievement of becoming the first female vice president have to do with diets? Vice President Kamala is neither obese or underweight, so I'm genuinely confused. I guess maintaining your weight is now considered fatphobic. When you say you wouldn't hire a fat personal trainer, you are perpetuating the false notion that fitness equals thinness. It's time to unlearn this crap and celebrate body diversity. Why in the world would you hire a fat personal trainer? Seriously asking. Would you let someone do your hair if their hair always looked bad? Would you let someone manage your finances if you know the person is bad with money? People who offer services like that are a walking advertisement of their services. While some may have a portfolio of some kind to show prospective clients or customers examples of their work, most people will judge your service if you are not an example of the service you're offering. If someone is overweight or obese, they clearly are not following their own recommendations for others, or they aren't very good at the service they are offering. So why trust your health and fitness in the care of someone like that? Thin privilege is not having to eat at home before you meet up with your friends for dinner, so you only manage to eat a tiny portion at your favorite restaurant. Because no matter how much you like them, there is still the fear of being called out on eating the same food as them. Because you are fat and they are not. Hashtag thin privilege. Hashtag fat discrimination. I had no idea people ate a pre-dinner before eating their regular dinner. If you have to have a pre-dinner before your real dinner, that should absolutely be a sign that you are overeating. If you are unable to eat the same amount of food in public that you would normally eat when you are alone, that should be a sign you are overeating. If your friends are calling you out on the amount of food you are eating, it is probably coming from a place of concern. This person recognizes that they have to eat a private pre-dinner before a public dinner, but instead of taking ownership of the bad habit of overeating, they would prefer to blame the issue on thin privilege and fat discrimination. Embarrassingly, I am starting to have trouble wiping myself because I have gained so much weight, and I don't know what to do about it. So much science around weight is bogus, and intentional weight loss isn't viable. So what am I supposed to do? I cannot do surgery. I am too scared. If you cannot wipe yourself properly, that should be a big wake-up call. This person, like many others, refuse to do what they know they need to do to fix the problem. Diet and exercise is what needs to be done. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to get weight loss surgery. However, it seems as if this person is wanting some sort of magic pill. The science around weight loss is not bogus. The science is proven with research studies and clinical trials from many credible sources. People who lose weight and keep it off made lifestyle changes instead of a temporary fad diet. The secret to weight loss is not a secret. Diet and exercise. It works. Limit your caloric intake and exercise more. The weight will come off. People don't want to hear that, however. They want a quick, simple fix, and those quick fixes do not last. The idea that fat people should go without treatment unless and until they become thinner is medical malpractice. Fat people should be given the same treatment that a thin person would be given on the same timeline. Not performing certain medical procedures or surgeries on obese patients is not malpractice. Those restrictions are in place to protect the patients. For example, many obese people have higher risk for post-op infections due to the difficulty of keeping the surgical areas clean, which may sometimes be located inside of fat folds. Some obese people have sleep apnea, so they stop breathing temporarily while sleeping. That condition makes it risky for a person to receive anesthesia. There are many disorders that obese people suffer from, which can complicate a surgical procedure. Surgery is risky, even for a healthy person. An obese person with medical issues makes it that much more of a risk. A thinner person may be approved sooner than a larger person for certain medical procedures due to the risk that comes with operating on an obese person. I really don't give a flip if Azealia Banks is boiling her cat, but I really don't like the fact that she's constantly body shaming celebrities. That's what actually needs to be spoken about. This person sounds like a sociopath. What type of person is okay with animal brutality? Serial killers are the only type of people that come to mind. Of course, insults are not okay. Words do hurt, and too many people have developed mental illness due to excessive bullying. Having said that, Fatlogic has no logic. Correcting inaccurate views on health and fitness is not the same as body shaming or bullying. Many people are doing harm to their bodies by remaining overweight due to the many inaccurate Fatlogic statements that are shared across the internet. If Azealia Banks is bullying other celebrities, that is not okay in any way. However, only a psychopath would be okay with the idea of boiling a cat. I have a question, and I hope I don't offend or trigger anyone here. I have gained 100 pounds in the past 1.5 years, and I've noticed that my health has gotten worse. Is all weight loss fatphobic and wrong? I don't want to lose weight to be seen as acceptable to society, but I don't want to have back pain or pain while walking. I don't want to go back to crazy diets because those don't work. And I don't want to change my lifestyle, because that's a diet too. Should I do weight training? Thank you. I find it very sad that some people are so afraid of being more healthy, because of the backlash they will face due to losing weight. Back pain or general pain while walking is not healthy, and it is very concerning. If you do not want friends who will only accept you when you are thin, why is it okay to have friends that will only accept you when you are overweight? Why is that double standard okay? Especially when the latter is putting your health at risk. Weightlifting is a great start. Getting some exercise, even if it only starts as a little, is much better than not exercising at all. Weightlifting is a form of exercise, and falling into a routine of exercising on a regular basis is a lifestyle change. Adding some cardio will also help. There's no need to follow some fad or temporary diet which is difficult to maintain. However, making a few adjustments to your diet is much more easy to maintain in the long run. If you are part of a movement that is doing you more harm than good, it's a sign that it's not the movement you should be a part of.